Hello, my dear students. This is Abhishek Mishra, Faculty of Social Studies at Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. In this video, I am going to teach you class 10th history chapter number 2, that is nationalism in India. So here we are going to discuss about the feeling of nationalism that arose in India. So here we are going to discuss some of the popular struggles or movement that were launched by Mahatma Gandhi and some other leaders. In chapter number 1, we had seen the feeling of nationalism that arose in Europe continent. So here we are going to discuss the case study of India. So let's start this chapter. See, as you have seen, modern nationalism in Europe came to be associated with the formation of nation states that we had studied. Ki nation state was made in Germany, in France, as in most of the countries in Europe. It also meant a change in people's understanding of who they were and what defined their identity and sense of belonging. New symbols and icons, new songs and ideas forged new links and redefined the boundaries of communities. In most countries, the making of this new national identity was a long process. How did this consciousness emerge in India? So here we are going to study about the formation of nation state and to bring a single identity of the people that will be known as Indian. Means here we are going to study about the formation of nation state in India. In India, as in Vietnam is a neighboring country that is on Indo border China, and many other colonies. The growth of modern nationalism is intimately connected to the anti-colonial movement. Anti-colonial movement means, since you know that India was a colonial country, means we were living under the British rule for more than 200 or 300 years. So people began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. The sense of being oppressed under colonialism provided a shared bond that tied many different groups together. But each class and group felt the effects of colonialism differently. Their experiences were varied and their notions of freedom were not always the same. Means, though all wanted the freedom for our country, but the meaning of freedom was different for all. The way by which they are going to take the freedom from British colonies, their ways were also different. Like you can say Mahatma Gandhi's feelings were different according to their notions of freedom movement, and you can say about Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad. So their procedures were also different than Mahatma Gandhi. So the Congress under Mahatma Gandhi tried to forge these groups together within one movement. But the unity did not emerge without conflict. There were so many leaders who were not in the favor of Mahatma Gandhi. They did not want to take freedom in such a way that Mahatma Gandhi was promoting. So in earlier textbook, you have read about the growth of nationalism in India up to the first decade of the 20th century. In this chapter, we will pick up the story from the 1920s. See, 1920 was the time when freedom movement was started by Mahatma Gandhi when he returned to India from South Africa. And you will also study about the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement. Non-cooperation means Asahayog Andolan and civil disobedience means Savinay Avagya Andolan. So you are going to read about these type of two movements. Both these movements were directly associated with the Satyagraha movement without violence. We will explore how the Congress sought to develop the national movement, how different social groups participated in the movement, and how nationalism captured the imagination of the people. These movements will tell you about the feeling of the people, what they were thinking, and what was their imagination about their country, what they were thinking about the Congress, what they were thinking about India, as well as about Britishers. Now, the First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation. First World War means the period from 1914 to 1918. So the period between 1914 to 1918 is known as the period of First World War. After that First World War, Khilafat movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi, and non-cooperation also. So in the years 1990, we see the national movement spreading to new areas, incorporating new social groups and developing new modes of struggle. How do we understand these developments? What implications did they have? So first of all, the war created a new economic and political situation. See, this First World War directly started from the Europe continent, and somehow this First World War was beneficial for Indians as it kept Britishers busy in fighting the First World War, and at that time we established so many industries to strengthen our economy. Britishers were busy in First World War and Indian took advantage of this. We will see it later on. It led to a huge increase in the defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. There was a drawback also of that First World War, that Britishers needed money to make their weapons, है ना, for war. So they increased taxes in our country. They also increased custom duties, and these custom duties were raised and income tax was introduced. Like you might have studied about the salt tax, है ना. Through the war year, prices increased, doubling between 1913 to 1918, leading to extreme hardship for the common people. It was a time of widespread famine all over the Europe as well as in India. Villagers were called upon to supply soldiers, and there was the forced recruitment where the villagers or the common people were forced to recruit themselves in army so that they can fight for the Britishers. In rural areas, it caused widespread anger also. Then in 1918 to 1919 and 1920 to 21, crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortages of food. And this was accompanied by an influenza epidemic. When the war was completed, epidemic spread all over India. According to the census of 1921, 12 to 13 million people perished. Perished means they died as a result of famines and the epidemic. So people hoped that their hardships would end after the war was over, but that did not happen. Means they were in a condition that what they were thinking, it didn't happen for them. At this stage, a new leader appeared and suggested a new mode of struggle, and that particular new leader was Mahatma Gandhi. He returned from South Africa in 1915, then launched some movements and become the hope for Indians that somehow he will initiate Indians in such a way that they will overcome from this famine and widespread hunger. So in my next video, we will start the idea of Satyagrah. Here I am ending my video right now. Thank you.